Okay, air gunners, today I'm going to test how many shots I get on a fill with my FX Streamline 22 at power wheel setting 1, which is the lowest for velocity. And I'm sure you guys have pellets that just don't perform for you for whatever reason. I've never had the hollow points do well for me. Of course, now this one in particular says that it's good for distance, but it's got such a wide open hollow point, it catches air, and probably after 30 yards or so the accuracy goes down on them. So, and here's another one that I got, the Cro-Magnon, and here you can see the rated distance for 3, so 5 being the best at distance. Precision 3. We look at the Barracuda Hunters again, and they're precision 5, but I normally don't get good luck with them. Here is the Barracuda Hunter Extreme. It's a heavier pellet, 19.09 grains, and I always have excellent accuracy with this at distance, and precision. I don't know what they call precision and distance, is a combination of the two. But anyway, this is an excellent pellet. Shoots well in just about all my rifles. But what I'm going to do today, let's see, I got most of the Cro-Magnon. I'm going to see how many shots I get on a fill at power setting 1. Also, I'd mentioned that I had tested the trigger pull at one time, and I believe it was 15.5 ounces, but I'm going to test it again on camera and give you the figures on the trigger weight pull. So let's get loaded and started. Alright, here we go. That did not register. Okay, here we go. .8 ounces. £1 pound, .8 ounces, basically 16 ounces. .9 ounces. So basically it's a 1 pound trigger. So that's pretty good, and it is an excellent trigger. Okay, I've loaded the magazine, but it's not in the gun, so I'm safe here at the muzzle. At least I'm not looking right down the barrel itself. But here's my starting pressure. It's just a tad under 230 bar, which is a full fill. So that's where I'm starting. I'm going to take a few shots over the chronograph and get a reading for the velocity at power setting 1. So hopefully this is seeing that. It's a little overcast today. Okay. Whoop. That was my first mistake. Haven't reset the power wheel. .53.5. 4 68.6. .1. Okay, I'm going to average this at 460 feet per second, do some calculations, and get back to you. So I got my FX Streamline 22, it's 11-shot magazine, and I'm going to figure out how many shots per fill I got. I'll check off for each magazine. And I'm not going to bore you with all the shooting, I'll just get back to you with the results. But I got my target set out at 38 yards. So it'll give me an idea what kind of accuracy I'm getting out of these pellets at this distance. And it'll be interesting to see how many shots I get on the fill. So it's going to be a while. Okay. Shot 2 magazines at 38 yards with the Cro Magnums, which is an 18 plus grain pellet. And the drop, first of all, we'll go up and look at it, was, gosh, 7-8 inches or more, but be expected at lower velocity. But the main problem was the pellets were spiraling something awful. At 38 yards, sometimes I could see a spiral of up to 6 inches in diameter. So I got a feeling that the weight of the pellets is just too heavy for this low velocity. So I'm going to switch. These are some old Crosman Premier pellets I had, and I washed and cleaned them since they're like 15 years old, and they're 14.3 grains. So I'm going to get a velocity reading on them, and then see how they shoot on targets, and continue my shots per fill on power setting 1. Okay. First reading, 533. $526. $527. I'll do the calculations. Okay, for 527 feet per second and a 14.3 grain pellet, I get 8.82 foot-pounds of energy as opposed to the 8.55. But now we'll see how the accuracy, if it's any different, and it improves. Okay, before I start, this was the results of the 2 magazines. The first one had a little less than full magazine because after the velocity testing, but first bull I shot at was out here, and I would get shots thrown up here, shots down here, and a couple down there. And then I went shot at this bull, and you can see the spread is a good 5 inches. Whoop. You can see the spread's a good 5 inches or so. Also, here when I aimed here with my 0 from before, this is where it dropped, which I measured out 10 inches. So I wanted to show these groups before I start on the Crosman Premiers and see how they do. Of course, if you're shooting at such a low velocity, you're not going to be shooting at anything big if you're pesting, and therefore you probably don't need a big heavy pellet. and you can go with a lighter pellet, and your distance is going to be much shorter. Like I said, this target's at 38 yards, so let's see how the Crossmans do. Alright, I'm going to show you the first group of pellets with the Crossman, but first, the difference in drop. Here's my aim point. Here's where the Crossman hit. A drop of 6.5 as opposed to almost 10 for, I believe, the Cro-Magnum. But here's the first group with the Crossman Premier's 14.3 grain. Center to center is going to be somewhere around 3/4 of an inch. This was, I think, 7 or 8 shots. So a big difference. You could see them flying true to the target. And so I sort of knew this to a certain extent. You got to match the weight of pellet to the velocity and twist rate of the barrel to get it to perform. So definitely, if you're going to shoot in power level 1, you're going to want the lighter weight pellets to get the accuracy. So I'm going to continue shooting and seeing how many shots per fill. Just a quick progress report. I've shot 66 shots so far, and I'm just a hair above 170 bar, and normally go off the reg at 120, so hopefully I can make it through this whole fill and get you a shots per fill at power level 1. Well, taking a little break here. Got my McDonald's pumpkin cream pie, whatever they call it, and a Diet Cherry Zero. It's just such a nice, pleasant day, and it's so great to have a house where you can shoot at, enjoy yourself. So, and it's just as calm as can be, and nice and overcast. So that's why I'm doing so much on this FX Streamline. I got other rifles and just never had the ability to shoot whenever I wanted. So I'm doing all the ins and outs and testing for this Streamline, things that people might want to know. So certainly enjoying myself. Okay, I thought I would record one group of shots here at 38 yards with these Crossman Premiers, 14.3 grains. Just show you how they shoot. Top right, seeing shooting sea bull. There you go, 11 quick shots. Have to measure the group, but easily under an inch, maybe 3/4. Okay, so far I've shot 15 magazines full, which is 165 shots, and I was shooting some apples up there and noticed a little bit of drop in the point of impact. I haven't heard the ping on the regulator, so I'm going to do a quick chronograph test and see if I'm losing feet per second, whether or not I should be stopping. Okay, 520. $5.18. Gun slip. $5.11. Okay, so the conclusion is, when I checked my magazine after 15, I was getting 120 on the regulator, even though I wasn't getting the ping. So I'm going to assume well, I've done my FX Streamline testing, power level 1 to get shots per fill, and while I was doing it, I got a package delivery from Air Guns of Arizona, and of course it came filled with the dreaded peanuts. And what I got from Steel Plinkers is a shoot to reset target, and it's a heavy duty, well made target that can take from 10 to 100 foot-pounds of energy. And what I got was the rabbit. It has it on there somewhere, but anyway, I got the rabbit, and I will do a review testing of it and give you my thoughts later on in another video. So look forward to that.